Well, good morning. It's a rainy, damp, cold day here up on the mountain. We've had fog that socked us in almost every day. Today we've just had rain coming through. But I wanted to address just a little bit one of the fallacies, I guess, of homesteading. And that is that you have time to do what you want to do when you do it. You're working in your own time schedule. And that's just not the case. And one of the things that we found that, and we knew this coming in, was that you have to work at what needs to be worked at when it needs to be worked at. Okay, if that makes any sense. Your schedule always changes. It doesn't matter what you plan on doing. That changes because of what the need is at the present. Now, as you know, we've been in the middle of trying to renovate our kitchen and get that all rehabbed, and that's a pretty major outset for us. And we had to stop all that yesterday. We got up and started about 6:30 canning tomatoes in the morning. We've had tomatoes coming on. I shared our little bucket garden thing earlier in the year, which was a last ditch effort for us, really, because we just don't have a lot of plantable ground here, and I haven't had time to put in raised bed gardens yet. And even though we've got a lot of ground, a lot of what we have is reclaimed mine ground. It's all been redone. A lot of it just we're on a rock shelf that has 6 to 8 inches of dirt over it, and that's it. So this year I chose to put out about 8 or 10 buckets with plants in them. I only had 4 tomato buckets, which I used the Heritage Cherokee tomatoes, and they did awesome. I didn't plan very well because my plants got up to like 6 foot tall, and I only had 3.5 foot tomato grids in there for them to climb up on. And so the weight of the tomatoes began breaking the vines off, although it's still bearing. Now our tomatoes are winding down. You can see some of them behind me here. They are coming to an end, but we do have quite a few green tomatoes on those that will ripen. A lot of people take tomatoes and they'll say, "Oh, you put those in a bag, paper bag." I have never had any luck with that. But what I have had luck with all the time is finding a small box and putting my tomatoes, whether it's still a little green, just not quite ripe enough. I'll put them in a box, close the box up, just fold the tabs over, and they will ripen, no problems at all. People suggest putting um, an apple in them or a banana, that type of thing for the gases to help them mature. I've never had to do that. Just put them in a box and a small box and close it up, and they ripen just fine. So anyway, we did tomato salsa yesterday. We eat a lot of tomatoes, and we don't have near enough to last us through the year. We go through a couple, 2 or 3 cans of tomatoes a week usually. We use a lot of tomatoes. So anyway, that's one of the things that we had to do. So your schedule changes all the time. You get sick, you have medical problems. My brother is going in tomorrow for a medical procedure, and I offered to take him for that. So there are things that just kind of mess up your schedule, uh, which in reality you have no schedule. Okay, you're just here, but that's one of the laws of having a homestead. Okay, you're working on your schedule, unless you're working for someone else, someone doing that too. For me, as I'm retired, a senior homesteader, you still have a schedule in mind of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, but you can't do it. So you keep this goal, and I've got a list of things. Okay, I need to accomplish this and this and this and this, and I've got a list of that things, and we work on that list. But that's turned out to be just kind of a general suggestion, okay, of how things are doing, and you get the most important things first, and there's always something more important that comes up that has to be handled next to that. For example, Sunday morning, we were going to Bible class in church. We got about halfway on into town, and my low tire indicator light came on. So we pulled off and checked, and I still had plenty of air in the tire. We had to drive into town and get that tire taken care of before we could go on to church. We did make it in time for worship services, but life happens. Okay. And on a homestead, they happen more frequently, it seems like. So anyway, uh, I'll show you our tomatoes and what we did a little bit, and we will talk more about that later. Now this is what's left of my tomatoes, and you can see I still have quite a few tomatoes on the plants. Um, they are they've done extremely well. Of course, I prepared the soil and augmented the soil and stuff as we were doing this, but they've done extremely well, and still have quite a few cherry tomatoes on our little plant back there. So we've been eating a lot of salads, and I regret this year that we have not had any lettuce of our own that we've grown. Maybe next year we'll have that in place, but we do have a lot of salads with our tomatoes too. Doing all of our remodeling, we're also doing some necessary work that has to be done, which is working up our tomatoes. We had tomatoes that had to be used today, so we're making up a few pints of salsa this morning. That we're doing. Some things just can't be put off. You have to continue dealing with the everyday things that have to be done. As you can see behind me, one of the things we had to stop and do yesterday was canned tomatoes. So we made a bunch of salsa. We didn't have a choice. The tomatoes were ready. You had to stop and do what you need to do at the time. And as much as we want to work on the kitchen remodel, there's some things can't be done. However, we did get the wiring put in for the dishwasher yesterday, so we did make some headway on that and working on the walls a little bit. So we got a little bit done, but not what we would like to. But that's the way it is. Things just happen. Well, just to show you a little bit here, we did get our electrical wire put in for our power for our dishwasher and got that in. We had to cut a hole in the wall, go back and tie into existing circuit. Thankfully, we had a dedicated circuit that we could get into in there, so it doesn't have a lot of other things on it. So that's part of it. So we are making little progress. We've been trying to patch the walls up and get that ready so we can put a finish on that. As eventually we'll have tile as a backsplash here, but right now we're doing what we can temporarily to make it look good. Thank you for continuing on with us as we make our homesteading journey, trying to make this home what it needs to be for us to be able to survive and enjoy living here. So thank you for being with us. God bless you, and appreciate your prayers and all that you give to us through this life.